The major narrative around the deteriorating infrastructure and lack of federal presence in the southeast of Nigeria has been the perceived sidetracking of Igbos, the owners of the land, from controlling the corridors of political power. But after many years of pushing that narrative to little or no impact, the new crop of politicians and political players in the region appear to have resigned themselves to the realization that if anyone must develop the southeast, it has to be them. So, but for this to happen, the elected representatives have the onus of shining the light and showing the way. How enthusiastic or effectively have they been in discharge of this responsibility in the context of emerging Nigeria? So joining us now to have this chat is Tochukwu or Hazurike, a lawyer, development advocate, civil society activist, and director, legal and documentation, Center for Transparency Advocacy. Welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you. And I want to talk about development of the East, because when you look at things since the Civil War, development has skewed. It's sort of like plateaued in the East. It used to be a very developed region of this country. Many industries. I mean, people remember the good old days of the guinea breweries in Anambra and the likes and things like that churned out guinea beer and things like that. But when you look at it today, it's not working. And we had the chance to speak to John Ward the other day for Haneze Ndigbo. And he said some work has been done as regards that about Haneze Ndigbo. They're bringing a couple of stakeholders and business leaders together to come develop the region. What role will the politicians of the region also play in that collective effort of development?
Thank you so very much. I may have to start by looking at it this way, that all 60-year-olds now who ordinarily are the elders of today in Igbo land were kids during the Civil War that ended in 1970. And many of them witnessed their parents, loved ones die. They witnessed many of the atrocities that happened during the war. And you can say that they are the second generation of industrious Igbos, the first generation being those who actually received 20 pounds each from the federal government after the war. And you see that now they are the leaders of the Igbo race today. And those people in power are aware of this industrious nature of the Igbo man. They are taking advantage of this industrious nature of the Igbo man, and they are now doing things that they are not supposed to do, ripping off the people. How do I mean? If you ask yourself, what is the leadership recruitment system in the Southeast? Very quickly, let me run through this. You'll see that in Ebonyi State, it has been Samegu, Martinelechi, Devumahi. In Anambra, Mbadnuju, Ngige, Peter Obi, Obiano. In Imo, Udenwa, Ohakim, Rochas, Ihedioha, Opuzodema. In Abia, you see Ojuzokalo, TALG, Okeze Bazu. In Enugu, Chimaroken Namani, Sullivan Chime, and then the incumbent Buruburu. Now, you see that when you look at it from this perspective, you understand clearly that how these governors have emerged through processes that were hijacked, not that the people selected leaders. Let us forgive the first set of governors in 1999 and look at the people who succeeded them. You will see that in Ebonyi, it was the governor Samegu that put Martinelechi. In Imo, it was the governor Achiku Denwa. When Ararume's ticket in his party had K-leg, according to the then president, he chose Ikedio Hakim. In Abia, though he was in detention, in prison, TALG was imposed on the people of Abia by Ojuzokalo. Likewise in Enugu, Chimaroken Namani single-handedly railroaded Sullivan Chime to the governorship. So when you see the leadership recruitment system in the Southeast, you see that basically the people do not have a say in who leads them. The people do not have a say in how their leaders are produced. And now, why I make that kind of general statement is this. When these governors are elected, these governors go down the line and select members of the National Assembly, select members of the House of Assembly, appoint members and leadership of the local governments in their states. Because for over time, if you check the history of all vocal National Assembly members who were at any point in time not loyal, I underline the word loyal, to their governors, not to the Constitution, not to the Nigerian people or their constituents, but loyal to the governors, all of them had to lose their offices. That was the consequence of loyalty. That was the consequence of independence. That was the consequence of saying the right thing that you were supposed to say. So to that extent, you will see that the leadership recruitment system in the Southeast has been very faulty. And that leadership recruitment system, until something drastic happens to it, the Southeast and good governance cannot be put in one sentence. Thank you.
Well, Tochukwu, I mean, the big topic about the Southeast that we've been talking about on this program for a while is the 2023 general election. And there are persons who hold the view that the best way to resolve the issue, as alleged by some persons of Igbo marginalization, is to make sure that we have an Igbo president in the 2023 general elections. What's your take on that? Do you think that that will solve issues of governance, development in the Southeast, or you don't think so?
Doc, when I look at Nigeria having spent 60 years, and for every day of the 60 years, we've had a president who came from one part of the country or not, and I look at those parts of the country, and I ask myself, General Gowon from Plateau State was head of state for 9 years. Is Plateau State heaven today? General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida was head of state for 8 years. Can we say Niger State is heaven today in Nigeria? Add the 1 year and 9 months of General Abdul Salami Abubakar. Go to Ogun State, where we've had Awolowo, where we've had Olusegun Obasanjo for 8 years, where we've had the incumbent vice president, where we've had Ernest Shonekan. Can we tell ourselves confidently that because these persons hailed from Ogun State, that Ogun State is heaven on earth? No. Therefore, having an Igbo man from the Southeast will not make the Southeast heaven on earth. However, because we have accepted that we have failed as a people, because we have accepted that we are not one as a nation, that is why we say that a president coming from the Southeast will assuage the issues of marginalization. And what it entrenches also is that by so doing, we are encouraging nepotism, because we will expect that president from Southeast to do for his people what people from other parts of the country have done for their people. Whatever that is may not be mentioned here because it could be a topic for another day. But it is clear that we say, when you get a president from the Southeast, please, Mr. President, go and do nepotistic actions, take nepotistic actions in favor of your own people so they will stop crying marginalization. But if for 60 years, issues have been equitably dealt with, resources have been equitably distributed, nobody will discuss marginalization. In the United States of America, we are aware that George Bush was president. His son was president. We're also aware that the Democratic Party gave Bill Clinton the presidency for 8 years, and after that, gave his wife the ticket to run for president. That what would have been, we've not seen that type of nepotism if we use that because of our Nigerian context. We've not seen that here, where families are taking these things at the president's level of the presidency. But it happens in other parts of the world, and nobody shouts marginalization. Nobody shouts nepotism. However, the reasons why we do them here are totally different from the reasons why others do them. So when you look at the 2023 presidency and say, oh, it is the turn of the Southeast, my heart of hearts, I do not agree it should be the turn of anybody. It should be the turn of the best person. It should be the turn of the most qualified person. It should be the turn of the person Nigerians freely and willingly choose to lead them. However, because of the Nigerian context, because of where we have found ourselves, it will not be right for me to say that, yes, what will assuage the Igbo man is to allow him have a shot at the presidency. But you will also ask yourself, has the Igbo man ever been stopped from running for the presidency? People will tell you that in 1999, that, oh, everybody allowed it for the Southwest. But Igbo people contested. In PDP then, Ekweme contested, he lost to Obasanjo. ANPP had Ogbonnayan who stepped down for Olufalaya of the AD. So Igbo people ran for that election. In 2023, Igbo people ran for the election. 2003, they did. 2007, down till 2019, there have always been at least one Igbo man who ran for the election. It was only in 1999 that that agreement may have put the name of Ogbonnayan out of the ballot. But for every other season of elections, there has been an Igbo man's name on the... So you would not say that we have been shut out from contesting. However, the politics that play could look like, oh, the Igbo man it has been impossible for the Igbo man to emerge. Can we just do that and then see that it is not going to bring about El Dorado, so that people can respect themselves and look at this country and remold it? We are fast losing our country, we must say. We are fast losing our country. Nigeria is fast drifting, And if we don't do some of these things that we are supposed to do, which include the fact that we must look at the leadership recruitment system, we must look at the laws of our country, we must establish that even at the level of the presidency, things must be done, because we cannot say we want an Igbo president or a president from Southeast extraction, and in the end, it turns out to be a president that is imprisoned by his insecurities, by the insecurities of marginalization. Example, when the Southeast produced Senate presidents between 2003 and 2007, 5 of them, there were 3 of them were Senate presidents in that 4 years. So in the 8 years of Obasanjo, we had 5 Senate presidents. And if you ask me, it is only Senate presidents from the Southeast that have been removed from office before their time. Since that time, no other Senate president has been removed. So you will just see that, can it not also be that when we have an Igbo president, a similar thing will happen again, and he will be removed from office? Not because they are the worst set of people, not because they are the dullest set of people, but because there's this Republican nature of the Igbo man that he doesn't care about certain things. He doesn't even care really about government, because he will provide things for himself. We provide security for ourselves in the Southeast. We come as community and streets and build our roads. We provide electricity. We provide water. We basically do everything for ourselves, because over the years, we've come to lose trust in government. Because in 1970, when the war was over and there was supposed to be the 3 Rs came in and were to be reincorporated into the system, they were given 20 pounds, showing that they were not party to the country. So the man learned himself how to help himself. And that nature, that strong culture has continued. And that is why bad governance permeates in the Southeast, and it continues to stay there, because the people really don't care. They provide these things for them. The basic things they can provide for themselves, they do so for themselves. And until we look at it really critically and say, okay, we know we can do these things for ourselves, but government is good. That is why the man in Ariaria market, however dirty Ariaria market is, in the morning he wakes up, he swims the dirty water, he walks into his shop, he does his business and goes away. However the bad roads in Nnewi are, the man goes into his factory, he manufactures things and he brings them out. However the insecurity any part of the Southeast can be, you see the Igbo man finding a way to solve his problem for himself. That has always been it. And until that culture is looked at and tweaked in such a way it can end us positivity and not negativity that it is ending us now, then we'll continue to rigmarole in this cycle of bad governance. And even when we get the presidency in 2023, it will still be the same thing.
So what is the role of the citizen in the recruitment process? Because you have just described a feeling of resignation that everybody should just provide for themselves. How can effective advocacy take place and people feel more engaged?
Now, looking at the list of governors I have reeled out for you, you will notice that while Ebonyi, Enugu, and Abia states have had 3 governors, Anambra has had 4, Imo has had 5, but still within the same time frame. Why did Imo have 5? When Hakim spent 4 years and Imo people felt he wasn't doing what they wanted, they asked him to excuse them. And until what happened in 2019, the Supreme Court decided that Hope Uzodinma was the governor of Imo State. The Imo people had believed they had elected Emeka Ihedioha against the desires of a sitting governor. So you will notice that Imo State has come out from among the states of the Southeast to show that it can make a choice as to who can be their governor, or it can take a decision and it will work for them. Because if you remember what happened in Imo in 2007, Godwin Ararume, who was not the governor's choice, won the ticket of the ruling PDP then in Imo State. But the president did not want it, and that was how Anoikedio Hakim came about. So Imo State has, over time, shown that they have capacity to determine some of these things. But the other states in the Southeast have not had that willpower to tell a governor that is not performing, wait. Otherwise, why are the kind of governors we are getting from Abia State still sitting in office? Abia State has not been blessed with a good governor. From 1999 to date, Abia State has not been blessed with a good governor, and they are all still there. They have all had to serve out their terms, because the people there have agreed that, well, the government, what does government do for me? And these things also translate to the issue of when government says people are not paying taxes. People will tell you, why am I supposed to pay tax? What do you do it? You don't need it for anything. You don't do anything for me. I provide everything for myself, so why should I have to pay you tax? So you see that Revenue of government also goes low because people believe that the government does not do anything for them. Now, directly to your question, what is the role of the citizen? The role of the citizen is, like I said, to tweak this culture of there's nothing government does for me, to tweak this culture of I can provide anything I need for myself just to survive, and make it to yield positivity for the Igbo man and not negativity that it is currently yielding for us. So that role includes the fact that we must participate in elections, calculate the number of votes in all the 6 geopolitical zones. You will get the list from the Southeast. Why should an Abia State get 300,000 votes in a presidential election in 2019, when in 2011 it had 1.1 million votes? So it means that people are no longer interested. Long years of misgovernance, long years of maladministration, they have completely lost hope. Why should an Abia State get 300,000 votes? How should Enugu State get 400,000 votes? Why should Imo not get 1.5 million votes? Because people are no longer interested in these things that they are doing. And with even what happened in Imo State in the last election and the way the judgments came, you will see that people will continually lose interest in these things. So the role of the citizen include, don't lose faith. This is our country, this is our area, this is our region. Continue to strive. Continue to work hard with your eye on the ball. And then we will get it right. And then we can start a new leadership recruitment system that is going to give us the kind of people we want in our areas of leadership. Not just at the governorship level, but at all levels, in the National Assembly, local government areas, and all that.
Well, thank you very much, Tochukwu Ohazuruke, for joining us this morning on The Morning Show. Thank you very much indeed.